What's up, guys? Isaac Payne here, and welcome to episode 5 of Small Business Conversations. Today, we got a great new company, Vancouver-based, called Jive With Bees. They make raw, organic, high-quality honey products. They have partnered with the Worldwide Bee Organization to produce, with the purchase of any Jive honey products, you'll be supporting local bee farmers as well as bee research. So in essence, you will be saving the bees. And today we have with us the founders, Marcel and Mackenzie. Welcome. How you guys doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thanks so much for the intro.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks for coming on board here. So Jive with Bees, when did it start? How did it start? Why did it start?
So about 4 years ago, I set out on a mission to bring sustainability to the local bee populations. And I've been a beekeeper for about 4 years now. However, 6 months ago, we decided to finally launch our first retail brand, where I brought on Marcel as well as our other partner, Michael, who sadly can't be here today. But we brought on these two so then we can start building the proper brand so we can get the word out and show people how you can jive with bees to save the bees.
Okay, and you have like a science background or?
So I actually have a more of a business background.
Okay.
However, I'm very fortunate that as soon as I started beekeeping, I was introduced some of the best mentors who were able to propel me to the point where I am right now.
Oh, cool. Very unique. Yeah. All right. And yourself, Marcel?
Well, that's essentially how the brand started. I actually own a digital marketing and video production company, and that's kind of been my main thing for the last few years. No Dev Studios, and Mac and I kind of have the same circle of people that we work with. We've worked on several different projects and brands and such, and he's always been the beekeeper guy. So when he finally said, "Hey, it's time to start our own brand and kind of build our own brand. We have the bees, we have the honey. It's time to start our own brand." It was an instant, like we're all on board. So that's kind of what my background is in marketing, and yeah, it was just kind of putting the pieces together for Mackenzie to have his vision and create a vision together for the future.
Oh, pretty interesting. Now, honey, I guess it's a pretty niche product. I don't know a whole lot about your industry, but what kind of makes you guys better? Like what separates you guys from the standard honey product?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if you knew this, but honey is the healthiest for you if it is the closest to you. And that's because the bees will go around and they'll pollinate all of the local flora. So if you have seasonal allergies or if you have any intolerances to any of the stimuli in the environment, the local bees will actually get the best honey that is created for you. And so our honey is 100% raw, pure, straight from the hive. We don't have any more processes besides a low temperature process where we can put it directly into the jar and give it directly to our consumers. And by doing this, we make it so that our honey has, because when you heat it up past 100 degrees, you'll actually destroy a lot of the health benefits that you get for consuming it. So by keeping it at a low temperature process, we can ensure that our honey is full of antioxidants as well as all the minerals that come with eating healthy sugars like honey.
Wow, interesting. Now, am I to assume like larger corporations don't use the same process?
Yeah.
To add on to that, one of the things we saw when we started to really look into the industry and see what everybody else is doing, a large portion of the honey you'll see on the grocery shelves that might even say 100% organic Canadian honey or whatever, it comes in as adulterated, so mixed with different syrups and such. And the way there's a nice CBC article actually where the Canadian government, whatever I'm not too sure the body's name, but so they did a random test where they pulled off a bunch of honey shipments from coming in from foreign places, and it was like a pretty large percent of it. I'm gonna say around 20% of the test sample actually came out as not 100% real honey. So and then if you look at the impact that has, so if you go to the grocery store, you don't really think about the price of honey because it doesn't really change, right?
Okay.
Whereas in the last, especially the last year with COVID and everything, you'll know like the population of bees has gone down dramatically. So therefore, like the supply of honey has gone down dramatically, but the prices aren't changing. So that kind of, that hurts the real beekeepers, and people that are going and putting bees on different crops to pollinate your blueberries and raspberries and whatever else you want. So essentially, the adulteration hurts the whole food chain, the whole food supply. So really, that's one of our biggest things here. Is we really wanted to bring awareness to that.
Hmm.
Oh, very interesting. So I've been interviewing a lot of different companies, and it seems like the sustainability is a big competitive advantage for a lot of small businesses nowadays. That seems to be the major hook, trying to make things more sustainable, ethically sourced. And this is just another example of that. So it's
Hmm.
pretty cool. And I'm learning a lot because, again, I'm just an average consumer, and you buy what's readily available, not necessarily what's best for you. So this is actually quite
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. A product only needs to be 10% Canadian for it to be deemed 100% Canadian. So always just keep that in mind when you're buying 100% Canadian honey.
Yikes. And again, what does it have to be deemed organic?
Yeah, exactly. Really, all they need is a location in an organic area. However, most beekeepers will transport their bees all around. And so it's hard to actually find a designated organic honey. And it's a $5,000 bill just to have it with that label on there.
Wow. So I guess a lot of your guys' legwork now is just in educating the consumer, would you say?
Of course, yeah. And just doing outreach to local brands.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
we want to give every excuse for everyone to jive with bees to save the bees.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, man. It's a powerful mission. Are you
Hmm.
guys just an e-commerce store? Do you have a physical storefront?
Well, we
So,
just sorry, Matt, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Marcel. I'll you.
Sure. So yeah, we started off. We actually just first launched our product, our first flavor of honey maybe in December.
Okay.
But so we started off e-commerce, but in the last couple of weeks we just partnered with Sanctuary Cafe in Steveston. Um,
Okay.
you know, Mac and I, we both grew up in, Michael as well. We all grew up in Richmond, especially around the Steveston area. So, we wanted to support the local guys, and we really wanted to start local and build local, which is one of the reasons we're here talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, so that's the first place you can find our honey, Sanctuary Cafe in Steveston.
Oh, nice. And we live in Steveston, so yeah,
Perfect.
I'll go by and check it out for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Perfect.
a Richmondite as well, born and raised as well.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
grow up
no
in
way.
Steveston, but yeah. No, it's awesome.
Hmm.
So are you guys focusing more so on the consumer or wholesaling?
We started out more focusing on the consumer. However, going forward, we're looking at wholesaling to local stores.
Okay.
Mhm.
Not restaurants, but like coffee shops.
At coffee shops, anywhere that has maybe a little retail section that we could sell our honey in, because honey's like the kind of product that almost every family has a jar in their house, and so we're trying to just spread the net as wide as we possibly can, give every person the opportunity to see our jars in the stores that they already visit.
Okay. And so you guys have like a set location where this is all produced?
Yeah, actually. So all of our bees are scattered across the lower mainland. We have some in Richmond, we have some in the Fraser Valley, as well as Delta and Burnaby as well. And our facility is actually off of Lougheed Highway. And so we try and jar our honey, as well as we also use another facility, co-packing facility in Langley as well.
Okay. And like how long is the process from the bee to the jar of honey? I have no idea. How long does
Yeah.
it take to make that
About
happen?
About 1 pound of honey, is 2 million flowers being pollinated.
Okay.
Like,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay. And how long does that take?
So I'd say each hive on is approximately per year will make about 50 pounds of honey.
50 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
50
then the
jars?
process, sorry?
That's 50 jars?
Yeah, about 50 jars.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, so it's really a seasonal harvest cycle. So
Mhm.
I think it's August, I believe. or
Yeah,
July, August-ish,
July, August, yeah.
yeah, where we actually start to harvest the honey off the hives.
Mhm.
And then for 10 months of the year, our bees are here. And we actually have a main farm, which is and our central location in Richmond.
Mhm.
And then for 2 months out of the year, we actually transport the bees to Alberta, Elk Point, Alberta, to go pollinate the clover fields. So our first flavor of honey is this white, creamy clover honey, and so that's where the bees are for the other part of the year. But yeah, so all that harvest happens in the summertime.
Mhm.
Oh, very interesting. Quite the, and I guess what what are some of the major hiccups that could happen? Like, are there problems with pollination? Like, can something happen where the
Mhm.
crops get messed up or something?
So for blueberry farmers across BC, they still utilize a fungicide that causes digestional disorders in bees. And so that's another huge thing of awareness that we're trying to spread towards blueberry farmers in particular, is to use alternative methods for spraying on their crops. Like, never will they spray before the bees come. However, in a place like Richmond, where the number one commodity is blueberries, you will occasionally find a little bit of cross contamination. It's very important that we have to ensure that all of our honey has no chemical residue, no, and we do this by testing the honey every time we harvest it to make sure that it has no sign of any of these sprays, even though they're not lethal to humans at all. They're fully edible. However, we want to make sure that our honey is always pure, straight from the hive. But it's an interesting thing to think about, because is placing it in areas where there's a lot of blueberries can actually affect the health of the bees. And so we try to make sure that we feed the bees the proper nutrition when they're on places in blueberry fields. Otherwise, a lot of bee farmers across BC are having troubles with that they'll put their bees out on blueberry farms and then all of their bees will die. And so we're trying to provide the sustainability along with the pollination to make sure that our bees stay alive for long periods of time.
Very interesting. And how long do bees live? I know I'm asking a lot of weird questions, but
Yeah,
like,
no, no, of course. Yeah, it's
how
super
long do they
interesting.
live? Like, how much
Um,
honey do you get per bee kind of
yeah,
thing?
so one bee's lifespan is about 128 days.
Okay.
However, the queen bee, that's for a standard worker bee, the queen bee will live about 2 years.
Oh,
However, it's also very common for beekeepers to actually kill the queen bee and replace her every year. So you have like a fresh queen who's laying new eggs every year.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot here.
Yeah,
Very, very
I could
interesting.
talk about bees for hours.
No, and then
yeah.
so in terms of price point, like how much more expensive or is it your product than the standard honey?
Well, it really depends on what you're comparing it to. I'd say our honey is reasonably priced in comparison to other raw unpasteurized honey.
Okay.
However, in comparison to a lot of the pasteurized honey that you find in Costco, we will be more expensive. But that's because you're paying higher for the quality and the health benefits that come along with it.
Oh, interesting, interesting. And how have you guys found? So when you guys started in December, you said?
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, and how have you found starting a new business with COVID and everything? How has it been? Have you had to adjust it all, or has it been pretty much on plan with what you wanted?
But
Um,
we started this, like, when we got together and decided we were doing this, and we started building the brand. Took a long process, but when we started it, it was already June or so, June or July. So this kind of project was really born out of COVID.
Okay.
So in terms of where we hurt, not really. I mean, our the health of the bees and the bee population nationwide suffered pretty hard. So that was that was pretty tough. But at the same time, just because we are just getting started on this retail brand, there's nowhere to go but up, kind of thing.
Okay, okay. That's
yeah.
fortunate because yeah, a lot of businesses obviously go the other direction. But if you
Yeah,
guys are just starting, then you
Mhm.
kind of know how to navigate and kind of work around COVID. So that's an
Absolutely.
upside for sure.
Yeah, this was one of the worst years for bees
Really.
of all time. Yeah,
Ah,
especially for Canada in particular. Right now is the all-time highest price of honey because of the amount of harvest that was lost, and we're only in January right now. And so if you put in perspective, normally the highest price doesn't come until May or June when harvest hasn't happened for a long period of time. But right now in Canada is actually the worst it's ever seen for bees.
Wow.
However, our bees only lost 1%, but
Okay.
most people were close to 60% of their hives were lost.
Wow.
Mhm.
Now, is that recoverable or is it?
So normally in times of mass colony collapse like that, Canada will import bees from around the world, but because of COVID, it actually shut down a lot of the borders. And so it was actually very difficult this year for beekeepers to be able to recover their colonies.
Interesting. So
Mhm.
we should see an increase in honey prices then, theoretically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
Unless they
Theoretically.
just put some filler in and keep the price the same.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
That might
Got it.
happen as
I'm
well.
with you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's
No.
very interesting. That's pretty cool. And so what have you guys found has been the hardest part or struggles you've had in terms of on the business end, marketing, strategies, anything like that? What have you guys found to be the toughest part thus far?
So, one of the things we realized as soon as we started doing the research, before we even started pulling the trigger on this, was that people like honey, but you don't think about honey too much. Like if you're Isaac, if you're going to tell me what your favorite honey brand is, you probably couldn't tell me, right? Exactly. But a lot of people consume honey. Like it's just one of those things. It's kind of like sugar, right? But so one of the things is that people like honey. People have a positive like emotion attached to honey. People look at honey as something friendly, as something fun, something comforting, especially because honey does raw honey actually releases serotonin in your brain, so it does have that comforting feeling to it. But the problem is, you show somebody a picture of a bee, and there's kind of that instant repulsion, right? So it's like we love what they give us, and honey and animal pollinators like bees also pollinate a third of the world's food supply. So we love everything they give us. They give us our food, they give us their honey, but yet we don't have the respect for them that we should have, right? So we've kind of already jumped into the problem where people's relationship with bees aren't that great. So with the first month or so, that was kind of the first thing we really tried to do, was have that like positive association with bees, bring that to our market, make it something fun, friendly, and very open, especially for the younger target market, like late millennials, early Gen Z-ish. And then what we realized is that people just don't know anything about bees or honey. So I'd say that's really the biggest challenge at this point, but also probably like the biggest opportunity.
Yeah. No, that's definitely, you're gonna got some work ahead of you because I think of bees, I just think of annoying insects that sting you, right? I don't
Exactly.
Exactly.
think about the delicious honey, even though I know they come from bees. I don't put the two together. So yeah, it's definitely some psychology there for sure. And I guess that's the game, really. I mean, for most businesses, is the marketing message and getting that right emotional response for that product, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that was a big wake up call for me because I have a very deep love for bees.
Which is only shared by a very, very small
Exactly.
percentage of the population.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah, it
cool. I
took
mean, the good news is, you guys can carve a path and kind of flip the script and kind of give a different perspective on the bee and how important it is to the environment and all the health benefits that come from it, right? So, yeah, no, that's pretty cool if you can do that and change people's outlook on that. Definitely a competitive advantage there. No, that's cool. And
Absolutely.
then what have you found? Have you guys been using mostly for marketing? Like, what's your best strategy that you guys are using right now?
So it's
so
interesting.
yeah.
Marcel, actually, you can talk about it.
Yeah, there's two things that we've really done that we from what we've seen we've done pretty well at. One, we've done pretty okay at Instagram. I mean, you look at our follower base; it's not huge. It's like just under 600 maybe. But the thing is, it's actually a very tight knit community. Most, if you're gonna look at any of the followers, most of them follow each other as well. Most of them live, I think. A lot of them live in Richmond, Vancouver, and Burnaby. So very tight knit community. Very friendly. They're always our engagement's always been really good, and we talk to them. We actually talk to a lot of the people as well quite often. Um, so that's one thing, and then so we really wanted to make it kind of a community thing. So actually, one of the things we were doing during Christmas time, especially, was if you ordered a jar of honey in our first few weeks, like during our launch, Mackenzie and Michael will actually show up at your door in bee suits and hand deliver it while so
Wow, wow.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is first class right there.
Yeah,
Now, if you guys get too big, you won't be able to provide that service. That'll be hard to fulfill.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
But I like that touch. Nice.
yeah,
No, that's good. I mean, I guess
yeah,
it starts with that, right? You start with the low hanging fruit, the
of
real
course.
passionate enthusiasts, and then you
Mhm.
kind of just build from there. So
Yeah, that was a good way to get the word out. I
yeah,
think though we found most success just genuinely reaching out to people and talking directly with them and doing a lot of the guerrilla style marketing strategies.
right.
Like we know me and Michael the other week we went door to door to a bunch of different health food stores and actually talking to someone in person, especially in a time like this, it really provided the best opportunity to grow and scale.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, yeah, I mean, the classics never die, right? I mean, as
Exactly.
much as we love the internet and everything else, you still can't beat the personal touch, right? So,
Of course, yeah.
oh, that's great. Now, you guys, what are your guys' kind of long-term plans? You guys want to be kind of like a global brand, or what's your, you know, 5 years from now? Where do you guys see yourselves?
I personally can see this becoming one of the largest bee brands in North America, especially with our idea of sustainability and our target market, our target audience. We're going to be part of the movers of the world, and I think we can do by, like I said before, I'm going to stress it. We by jiving with bees, we can save the bees,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
really what my all-time goal is.
yeah. Okay, no, that's pretty cool. And then, would you guys have to like expand your bee supply then, or like, what would you have to
Mhm.
do to where would you go to get more bees?
Well, normally you just reach out to another bee farmer. There's actually a lot of people who make their whole careers on selling queen bees
Oh,
and
okay,
and
okay.
and nukes is what they're called. They're like little baby hives, and then
Okay,
it's just nourishment, 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 feeding them until they grow to the size that we can get some honey off of them.
okay. Now, do you guys have a lot of staff right now, or how does your organization
uh,
work?
it's just the three of us right now, but
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I think in the future we'll probably need some.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So let me just back up then. So you guys are producing about how many jars of honey to sell per season? How many jars do you have? Rough.
Well, it depends. Every season's different, so it's
Okay,
hard to really know because you never really know how many bees are going to die, and as well as you never really know how good the honey flow is going to be. Like
okay,
we've had years where we lost 60% of our harvest. Actually, the past 2 years we did. This is the year that we only had really an okay enough harvest that we were ready to launch a brand. But on average, like I said, 50. We have a good amount of hives. I think we have about 22,000 jars ready right now.
okay,
So that's
okay.
where we're at right now. And then hopefully we'll have about 48,000 in July.
Oh wow, okay.
Mhm.
And how long does a jar last? Like pretty long, right?
Depends who you are. I eat one a day.
Like,
honestly,
what's the
for
shelf life? Sorry,
Oh, it doesn't
oh
expire.
yeah,
it's good for like eternity.
Yeah, they found honey in the Egyptian tombs, and on it was a transcription that said, "A gift from the gods."
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So you got a non-perishable product. Okay,
exactly.
all
Yes.
right. Okay, that's definitely an advantage there. Okay, that's pretty cool. Interesting. No, I'm learning a lot. I'm a rookie here, so I
No,
got
of
to ask
course.
all
Like I
the
said,
all the all the elementary questions.
I could talk about bees for hours.
No, that's great. I mean, no, that's awesome. You guys got a real niche there. Do you have a
Mhm.
lot of competitors in the Lower Mainland?
we
Yeah,
do.
there's a good
Yeah,
amount of competitors.
we do. I mean, I think one of the things we noticed was that I mean, I think most of both the global well, both the global and the local honey companies, they kind of approach it with, farm to table sustainability, but this is a commodity. So there's lots, you'll see lots of the same thing. Um, but in terms of what we're trying to do, I'd say there isn't too much competition because again, our target market is we're going for kind of the younger consumers. We're trying to build a real personality out of bees and the honey, um, rather than just here's honey, it's high quality.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit different, but yeah, we do have lots of honey competitors around.
Hmm.
Okay. No, it's that's interesting. That's good for you guys to get that off the ground. And what? So you were a beekeeper. What were you doing before, Marcel?
I
You
again,
did
I
marketing.
yeah, marketing company. So yeah, it's just been I've only been in marketing itself for maybe about 4 or 5 years or so. Before that, I was actually I was working in construction management. So there's been lots of shifts in my young life.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I all I could do really is bring my experiences in the marketing side and in the branding side to help you know this project.
Now, are you guys both just doing this Jive with Bees full time, or you still have side gigs as well?
We have to have side gigs, I
Yeah, we
think,
have to have side
at this
gigs.
point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
pay the bills, but this is the passion project that will
Fair enough.
definitely take up most of our time.
Okay, okay, nice. And do you guys have any tips or pointers for fellow small business owners or anyone who's thinking of starting a business?
Hmm.
Anything that you guys have learned in the few short months that you've been in the game?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna say always make sure to set goals and never stop working. Keep your head on everything that you're trying to do.
Nice, nice.
And I'd probably go with just build community. Like
Mhm.
everybody already has community. You have friends and family that are willing to support you. I've worked with quite a few small business owners who have started, or especially if it's kind of their first small business. I work with quite a few people that have got off the ground and been like, oh, I don't want to. I want to build a following, a community, a consumer base, but my friends and family don't count. Like, no, they count because you start with a village. You build a village of the people you know, and
Mhm.
naturally, as humans, we've already done that. We have friends and family, and then from there, it just kind of expands outward. So yeah, I just say build community.
Mhm.
Oh, awesome. And do you guys see yourself having your own storefront, or is it more just wholesale and have it in every major establishment across North America?
You
What do
never
you want?
know.
Yeah.
Maybe once because we do have plans to launch a bunch of new products as well, and
Okay. What
so
else?
maybe when the time comes and we're ready to open a store, if there's an opportunity there, I don't see any reason why not.
Okay. What other products do you guys want to launch?
So honey is actually only one of 7 products that are made from bees.
Okay.
Honey is the most popular one, and most people consume it. Most people consume it, but there's also propolis, and there's royal jelly, there's bee pollen, and there's beeswax. And with those products, you can actually make wide assortments, hundreds and thousands of different types of products. For example, with beeswax, it's very much used in the cosmetics industry. And then there's also bee venom as well. And bee venom is an interesting one because it's the only natural ingredient in the world that can remove wrinkles from your face. And so,
I know that.
yeah,
Wow.
bee venom's an interesting one. And then propolis is sort of like the gums that bees collect from the different cuts in trees or like the grooves in other plants. And basically, they collect up to 200 compounds and they combine it with their saliva, and they use that to either embalm any unwanted predators who enter their hive or to seal the cracks in their hive. However, that product can actually give you up to 500 times more bioflavonoids, which you need for absorbing vitamin C. And so it's basically like eating 500 oranges in a small little dosage, 100 milligram dosage. And it's been shown to have beneficial effects on up to 80% of autoimmune diseases, as well as it can remove ulcers from your digestive tract. And it's good for many different digestional diseases as well. And then royal jelly is a product that is secreted from the heads of worker bees, and it's collected by the queen bee, and she hoards it in her hive. And it's a very, very mineral dense substance that when consumed by humans, can help promote hormone regulation, as well as, again, can help with up to 80% of different autoimmune diseases.
Wow.
And the last one was bee pollen, which is the most nutrient dense substance on planet Earth. And
Nice.
it's one of the only vegan sources that actually have B12 as well, which is important for a lot of people who are looking to eat vegan as well. So we do have plans to launch a bunch of fun, loving products that incorporate these awesome, awesome bee products.
Oh, sounds like you guys got the secret sauce, man.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of those other products, are they just come in like a natural form? Is it a pill? Is it a powder? How would it be consumed?
I think what we're going to want to do is make it in the most convenient way possible. And we're still experimenting with a lot of that. That's why we haven't launched any of the products yet. But I personally don't want to give out pills
Okay.
because I feel like it's kind of just like a medical kind of thing. I feel like there's a better way that we can do it. And perhaps by enhancing it with other materials as well to make sure it's like targeted for very specific consumers, because propolis can be used by so many different people. So why not make a fortified propolis blend that can help with other things as well?
Oh, it's pretty cool, man. I'm learning a lot here, especially
Yeah,
coming from the fitness background and
of course.
health and supplements and stuff like that. It's always cool to learn about the hidden secrets out there that are available to us that we don't even know about, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
that's pretty cool stuff. So
hmm
where can everyone find Jive with Bees?
You can check us out at jivewithbees.com. Or of course you can see us at Sanctuary Cafe in Richmond, 2 Road and what is it, River Road or
No,
Moncton?
2 Road in
Moncton?
Moncton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve said, yeah, I think Moncton. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you can
Awesome.
always find our Instagram at Jive with Bees.
hmm
For sure, send us a follow if you're listening out there, and we'll connect.
hmm
Oh, awesome. Well, no, I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down with us. And it sounds like you guys got a great product. I'm going to have some more amazing products on the way. And we're going to be following your journey. And we wish you the best of luck in your venture.
Appreciate it,
Absolutely.
Isaac.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.